Hi students. So in the previous video I explained about what is the definition of the cloud computing. Okay, what the customer think about the cloud and what the business people will think about the cloud. Now let's discuss why cloud computing. Is it required? Okay, it's a previous days there is no cloud computing. Everything we will use on our personal computers with the help of the storage devices. We are storing the data with the hard disk and everything we are storing on that. So then why we are using cloud computing? Okay, now let's see that difference. So before and after. So if you didn't use the cloud computing, what's the problem? Okay, so what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages and what are the difference here? So if you take on premises or you can take your personal laptop, personal system, or you can go for the single organization. So in the view of on premises, personal systems or the single organization, or if you use a cloud computing. So whatever the data if you want to store, whatever the access if you want to do, if you think alone and if you use a cloud, what is the difference? So then if you see the difference, then you will clearly understand why this cloud computing is more useful nowadays. Okay, so if you go for on premises, here whatever the data that you are using, whatever the systems that you are working, here the higher pay and the less scalability will be there. Higher pay, less scalability. And whereas in cloud, pay for what you use. What is this? So if you want to store the data or if you want to maintain the servers, let us take the servers. If you want to in the server, the company related information, everything will be stored on the server. Okay, and in your, suppose if in your own system or whatever the data if you want to store, you have to store in your hard disk or whatever the storage device you are having. So for that you have to pay higher pay. Even though if you are using or if you are not using, you have to buy that hard disk, and if you have to buy that storage. Okay, and there is a less scalability also. Even though you are not consuming full, only a little amount of data you stored on the hard disk, but you buy it with a lot of money. Okay, so that higher pay you'll get the less scalability. Whereas if you go for the cloud, pay for what you use. You just pay how much data you stored on that. Okay, if you increase the scale up, means the amount of data is increasing, you have to pay more. Okay, sometimes after some days you want to just delete the data from that cloud, just delete it. Now your scale will come down. Scale down means the storage of data will be less, then you pay less. So just pay for what you use. Whenever you store the data, if it is more, pay for more. If you are not using complete data, just delete that data and pay less amount. So that is the first difference. So if you want to store your data in your personal systems, personal storages, whether you are storing the large data or small data, whatever it may be, you have to maintain on the complete system. Okay, here you have to just pay what for use. And the next, here allot huge space for services. Allot huge space for servers. So if you want the systems, so whatever the servers, so in a single system you can't store the complete amount of data, that important data and the compute products in a single server. So for that you need to maintain so many servers in an organization. So for that allot huge space for servers. So whereas in cloud, no server space are required. No server space required. So next, here automatic updates will be there. So if you want to make updations for your software, every time this person has to be logged in and they have to check whether what is the data is there and they have to be maintained. But here no, here in on premises there is no automatic updates, whereas in cloud automatic software updates are there, because the cloud providers are charging so much of money from ourselves, from our side. So that's why they are maintaining everything will be secured and they are maintaining the update softwares. So for if you go for on premises on the single organization, we have to appoint a team for hardware and software maintenance. Appoint team for hardware and software maintenance. So whereas in cloud no experts are required for hardware and software maintenance. So experts are required. And here in this cloud on premises on your personal systems, you require, it is a lack of flexibility is there. Means you can't extend that whatever the storage you are buyed, means suppose if 256 GB of hard disk if you buy it, you can use only that much of hard disk space. You can't extend that. If you want to extend, you go and buy another hard disk. So lack of flexibility. Whereas in cloud you are having high flexibility. If you want to use more, you can buy more. If you want to use less, only use less thing. Okay. And here the data cannot be accessed remotely. And if you go for on premises, data cannot be accessed remotely. So only within the organization you can access, or if you want you can access with the other people also by using the internet, but only the small amount of data. Means only the small amount or the size that you can transfer the data, retrieve the data, you can see. But if you want to send a large amount of data with more storage, you need cloud. So with the help of the Google Drives, you are sending the data which is more than the 25 MB, then it will be connected to the drive, and with the help of the drive you are sending the files to the another people. So in the premises, on premises, data cannot be accessed remotely, and here data can be accessed and even shared anywhere over the internet. Anywhere over the internet. So example is the Google Drives. And here in the on premises, it takes longer implementation time, takes longer implementation time, whereas in cloud computing it's only rapid implementation. And the main thing here in the on premises, if you go for the single organization, if you're maintaining everything, there is a poor data security. The data security is one of the important concept in the cloud computing. Okay, it's a poor data data security, whereas in the cloud, better data security will be there. So for these advantages, nowadays everyone is preferring the cloud computing. For these reasons, we are using the cloud computing rather than going for the file organization, storing it with a single system. Everything we are pressing on the cloud and retrieving whenever we want, wherever we want, and at whatever the time we want. Thank you.